Welcome to the Diversity Visa Lottery application. This is official tutorial on how to properly fill the DV application form. I have seen so many mistakes. These mistakes are divided into too many parts. There are mistakes people are doing which will cause them to be automatically rejected. And there are some of the mistakes, despite of those mistakes, you will be selected, you will become the winner, but you will be denied the visa. I want for you, if you feel by yourself or if someone is filling this form for you, to avoid these mistakes, which I'm going to point out, but how to properly fill this diversity visa lottery application. This form is famously known as DS-5501, the electronic diversity visa application form or entry form. The form has main part one. Part two will depend on some of the information you will be filling. Part one is the most crucial one because it has the information of what we call the information of the main applicant, or rather the person who will be selected as the winner. Part two will depend if the main applicant has derivative. Derivative means dependence. So part two will depend if the person has dependence, if the person either has children or the person has got married in that particular way. So if you are married, part two will open. If you have children, part two will open. But if you are not married, if you don't have children, that means you apply as unmarried with no dependents. So it will be just part one, no part two. In order to fill this form, few things we should note. Number one, there are no any documents which are needed to do the application. Yes, you need to make sure that certain information are correct, but there is no uploading of any documents. Exception is on the DV lottery photo, which we'll talk about it. If you want to go with your passport, is up to you, but there is no requirement which needs you to fill the DV lottery application form with the passport. Like a couple years ago, something happened that way. There is no passport requirement in the DV lottery application. What is required is passport photo, not passport as a travel document. There are no place to put your ID number. But if you want to give someone who is helping to fill, to look the names on the passport or to look at the name of your ID so that they can match correctly spelling, that's okay. But there are no place to upload any documentation. So if you open this form, it starts with the following. Name, that's aspect number one. Remember, I've seen so many mistakes. I have over 15 years of experience on helping people fill this form. The names are arranged as follows. It starts with the last name or family name. Then it comes with the first name, then the middle name. The biggest mistake people are doing, they are assuming the names how arranged this way, they start first, middle, and last. That is incorrect arranging of your names. Make sure the names are arranged how they are written here. You start with your last name. Trust me, so many people do not know what is their last name. Go to your passport. Go to your passport. The passport will say surname. That the surname is the last name. Put that on if you have passport. Your family name, which is official. That's what you're going to use, that one. Then first name. There are some people have two first names or two middle names. There are some people don't have last name, middle name. So it will be last name and first name. It's okay. You will tick here, no middle name. So if your name is, for instance, last name is my name, Makulilo, you'll put Makulilo. First name will be Ernest, middle name will be Boniface. But let's say someone is, especially people from Latin America, for instance, they have 4 names. So maybe it will be Rodriguez, Jose, Maria, Sanchez. So they might have more than 4 names. So you have to know which one are 2 first names, or if you have 2 middle names. Make sure you arrange correctly. Because how you arrange these names, when you win, the names will appear that way, and that will be able to guide you on getting the visa. But if you make a mistake on arranging the names, they are not going to affect anything, whether you are going to win or not to win. It doesn't affect. You can fix that one after winning, but you cannot fix it after submitting the form. Then gender, male or female, you select one. Then birthday, you start with the month. The biggest mistake, people start with the day. So remember, you start with month, day, year. There is no scroll down menu. You just write by numbers. So make sure you start with the month. You can people make a mistake on their birthday, no problem. Don't do another application, because that will be automatic disqualification. We'll help you to fix it out once you win. Then there is a place of birth, city of birth. Enter birth city only. Do not enter district, county, province, or state. So remember, they are talking about in American context. City is every city. There is no concept of village here in America. So when you fill the form, I remember some people, when maybe your birth certificate shows the small village you were born. You were born at home, it is right in the village. In Africa, for instance, or in some of the Asian countries, the concept is place could be called the city, is another level of municipality, city, and other things. The government must name it to call it a city or a town. Forget about those distinctions. Write what it is written on your passport, if you have passport. Even if you put your wrong place, it's not a big deal. Because sometimes the birth certificate might say you are born in Kibera, Kenya, but Kibera is within Nairobi. The passport says you are born in Nairobi, but the birth certificate says you are born in Kibera. Or, for instance, when Tanzania, it says you are born in maybe Kinondoni, but at the same time, Kinondoni is within Dar es Salaam. It can be a small place within Accra, Ghana, but it's within Accra. So you can write it a bigger, whatever city. No problem with that. Don't worry. Then the country where you are born. This is the most important part. If you make a mistake on place you were born, there is no problem. But if you put a mistake on country of birth, that can cause you to be denied the visa. Because the eligibility to participate in the Diversity Visa Lottery depends on the place of birth, not citizenship. You can be born in Ghana, but currently you are a citizen of, let's say, Canada. Canada is not eligible country. But even if Canada is not eligible country, we are referring to people who were born in Canada. Not someone born in Africa, born in Asia, in eligible country, and go to live in Canada, become a Canadian citizen, or going to live in Britain and become a British citizen. If Canada and Britain are not countries which are eligible, but because you are born in a country which is eligible, you are allowed. The eligibility is based on the country of birth. So when you go here, be very careful. Don't rush. I've seen people, instead of putting maybe Cameroon, someone put it on a scroll down menu, it went to Cambodia. So when you win, instead of coming as the country of eligibility, so instead of coming as AF, as the winner from Africa, it comes as AS from Asia. That's another problem. You cannot show up when you are born in another country. And this is very, very important. Let's go to the instruction for the DV lottery. The instruction says, listing an incorrect country of eligibility or chargeability will make you ineligible. meaning you'll be not eligible because you put a wrong. So be careful when you put the country of birth, because that is going to be used. Though there are some cases where someone might be born in a country which is not eligible. Let's say you are born in Nigeria, but your spouse are coming from another country. You can claim different country of eligibility. So that is very, very important. I want to make sure that you understand that one. By default, if you select here Ghana, that the country you are born, by default, the answer here usually is yes. That are you claiming the eligibility based on the country of birth? Meaning, if you are born in Ghana, are you claiming that you are applying as someone from Ghana? The answer is yes. So by default, the answer is yes. Leave that way, yes. This is only different if, let's say, you are born in a country which is not eligible. Let's say you are born in Nigeria. Maybe you are born in China. You are born in, let's say you are born in England. You are born in Canada, whatever the country which are not eligible. But your spouse, or there is a situation for your parents which allows you to apply based in another country. You will say no, then you can select another country. What is the common mistake people have done here? This year, I have 4 examples of people who made a mistake. They confuse the country you were born and the country where they live today. So they come here, they say, oh, I was born in this country, but now I live in, maybe let's say now I live in Sierra Leone. Is coming here to put no and to put Sierra Leone. That's a mistake. It means you are claiming eligibility of another country. Eligibility is based on the country of birth, only for few exceptions. Remember, majority of you who are applying, if there are 1,000 applicants, I guarantee you all of the applicants will have the same yes, and it will be by default. The country of eligibility is their original country of birth. Very few exceptions being born in a country of not eligible. Don't change the country. For instance, you are from Tanzania, but you are married with someone in Kenya. Both countries are eligible. Use your eligible country of birth. Don't change the country. Is allowed, but don't change unless otherwise yourself you are from the country which is not eligible. Because there are some of instructions, if you use the country of eligibility of another person, there are certain restrictions on that. So make sure the country of birth is the country of eligibility. By default, the answer is yes. Then it comes to the photo. This is a very important part. I have videos explaining how important this is. Remember, number 1, you are not allowed to use the photo of the previous year. The photo of the previous DV lottery. Yes, some people have used it and they have won, but don't try them. Don't take that risk. Don't use the older photo. The photo must be with white background. Don't start putting too much makeup. Don't wear a hat. Don't go crazy, people. It needs to have all the instructions, and it has to meet all the requirements needed. Make sure the photo has all the requirements. I'll put a separate video on the photo. And this year I'm working on the website. I don't know whether it will be ready before the application starts, which will help you to put a clear white background and make the proper measurements of the DV lottery and be able to download the photo on your end. So that is something I'm working on. I don't know if it will be ready before the lottery starts. But this is how it's supposed to be. To make sure that the photo, remember, majority of people are eliminated based on the photo. Let's quickly review the photo. Obviously, the photo must be digital, new digital photo. That's number 1. It has to be within 6 months. That's number 2. It has to meet all the standards below. Let's go to these standards below, which are acceptable. Do not submit the photo which is older than 6 months. That's supposed to be. Submitting the same photograph that you submitted with a prior year's entry, a photograph has been manipulated or does not meet the specification below, will be ineligible. So don't use the photo, you use last year's application. That's why in case for any person we took the photo last year, we didn't give the photo back because we know you might do a mistake and using the photo of previous year. The photo should be in color, not black and white. Should be on focus. The size, that is the size what they are going to tell you. Make sure 6 months, you don't wear the glasses, white background, all those kind of things. You don't go crazy, starting laughing, smiling, whatever, all those kind of things. Taken in clothing that you normally wear on your daily basis. So, meaning, don't wear the uniform if you are a police officer. Don't wear the medical coat if you are a doctor or whatever. Don't wear hijab if you don't wear hijab on daily basis. So make sure you follow those kind of things. The only people who are supposed to wear uniform, let's say there are Catholic sisters, I'm giving an example, they can wear certain uniform. Those are the uniform we know they wear, that's their uniform. Let's say Pope, if he's going to take a photo, yes, he will be in the uniform. But if you are not, even a priest, normal priest, exception like if you are in the certain type of, certain kind of affiliation, they have the one like San Franciscans, they wear every time their uniform, but majority they don't. So those are the things you need to make sure that you do that way. You don't need to wear a hat, whatever, all those kind of things, kind of that. Unless otherwise things are worn on a religious basis. No headphone, no all those crazies, no glasses, all those kind of things. It has to be on either JPG or JPG or JPEG format. Either of these format they are allowing. These are the two formats, the format they want. It has to be less than 240 kilobytes. The good thing about this one, if the photo goes more than 240, it will not go through, it will not upload. It will tell the photo the file size is bigger than 240. It will tell you. It has to be a certain kind of square ratio, and 600 times 600 pixel is the measurement. So those are the things you make sure they are the one which are needed. It doesn't matter even if the child is 1 day old. Taken photo of your baby or toddler. Lay the down. They have tricks like how to take the picture of for a baby. There are ways to do that. But don't start, oh, I'm not applying, I'm not saying I don't have a child just because my child is 1 month old. So how can I take a picture and you say you don't have a child? That is a big mistake you are going to do. Don't do that. And one last thing on the photo. Make sure the photo of the main applicant will meet the same qualification of the photo of the derivative or the dependents. If you are the main applicant, the father, you have 2 children. Those 2 children, individual photo must meet the requirements. And you have spouse, you are married, your spouse, the photo must meet the requirements. Some people, they focus the photo for themselves and a photo which doesn't meet the requirement for the derivative. The photo of the derivative can cause the entire family to be disqualified, not to meet the requirements. Let's go to another part, mailing address. So here the mailing address, mail means is a letter. Letter. Where do you receive the mail? This address is not the important address. Remember, I don't know why they still put this address, because it used to be back in the day when the DV Lottery started in 1990, they used it to send the paper application. If you are, we now, all those things, they are not digital. Now everything is digital and electronic. So this address means nothing. So you can put any address, even a fake address, you can put a PO Box 10, whatever city you want to put, there is no problem. So there is no problem on this address where you put it. There is nothing will be sent on this address. Because once you win, you check and you'll get the letter, digital PDF on the screen as the winner. So this address means nothing. So put any address. If you are in the country, like people in Kigali, Rwanda, for instance, their homes, they have street names, they have numbers, very arranged like here in the US. So you can put it that way. If you do not know you are in the city or street or country which they don't have very regulated in the systematic way, put any address. There is no problem. It will not cause you not to win the DV lottery. Then it comes to the country where you live today. This is important. Some people think that if they put the country where to live today, they think that that will help them to win. No. If you are from, let's say, Uganda, and you say you live in Kenya, you think that by putting Kenya you are going to win. Or someone you live in Liberia, for instance, and you think that by saying I live in the US, I'll win. The location of where you apply, where you live today, has nothing to do. But this location of the country, by default, it will show on the interview location that is where you'll be doing interview. But you can change if you want. So the interview location, by default, it will say the city where the embassy is in that particular country. If you say you live in Kenya, it will by default say Nairobi. If you say you live in Tanzania, by default you say Dar es Salaam. If you say you live in Ghana, by default it will be Accra. If you say you live in Rwanda, it will say Kigali. That's how it is. Phone number is optional. Whether you put a phone number, whether you don't put it, means nothing. This is the place where even if you don't put it, there is no problem. They're not going to call you. You are not that important to the KCC or the US government to waste their time to call you. No. But the email is important. You must put the email address. Make sure you use the correct email address. If you want to use the email of a person, make sure the person, you know the person. Let's say if you are the wife, use your husband or your brother. It's better to use your close relative or the person you trust the most if you use their email address. But my advice will be to use if you want to use the email, use your own email address. It's very important because this email will be used to provide additional information if needed. When it's selected, you will be using this email address. Then we come to another part about education, and then I'll talk about work experience. In the Diversity Visa Lottery application form, there is no any place where you are supposed to put the work experience. Work experience is used after winning in the visa. But in this application form, there is a place where you need to select the level of education. Remember, whether you put a correct one, whether you put a wrong one, this part has no impact of any kind in selection, winning the DV lottery. It has no any impact at all. And in case you win, let's say you put vocational, but you have some university courses, you will put the correct one. To put the incorrect education level, it will not affect you. There are certain information I'm trying to say will have impact. If you win and you put your wrong information, they can deny you the visa. But putting incorrect education level will have no impact. There is something you need to know. In Africa, in Asia, we have, or even Latin America, we have the education level which is called the diploma level of education. Diploma level of education is not education level in America. So you need to choose either high school with a degree or no degree. Degree means that you graduated high school. You have a certificate, you finished high school, which you call high school diploma. High school, no degree, it means you finished high school, you didn't do the final exam, you didn't complete final. Or you end up in junior high school. Let's say someone is in Tanzania or Uganda. In Tanzania and Uganda, we have junior high school, which you call ordinary secondary school. In Uganda, they call it senior 4, which is form 4, O level. And then we have advanced level, which is high school. So in those countries which you have O level and A level, junior high school and high school, you end up in form 4. You will select high school, no degree. That means you didn't finish high school. That's the point. Vocational means nothing. Just even if you win, it will not give you the DV lottery visa. You have to have 2 years of experience. That's why they say here, You must have a minimum of high school diploma reflecting the completion of the course of study. Vocational schools or equivalency degrees are not acceptable. Or be in a skilled work in occupation, at least 2 years of work experience, blah, blah, blah. You need to have 2 years of work experience. This is to be given the visa. So put it the correct education level. But I want to tell people who are current university students, because I've seen those, they get confused. They say, oh, I'm in high school, I have high school while you are in university. Select some university courses, meaning currently you are university. Either you went to school, to the university, you are still a student, or you went and you drop out at the university level. That is some university courses. Some graduate level courses is just you are currently you are master's student. Some doctoral level courses you are currently a doctorate student. Even if you put a doctoral student, they are not going to select you just because you are having doctorate or you have master's degree or bachelor degree. The selection doesn't care the level of education you have. They don't care. So select the correct level of education. There are those people are in their final year, maybe final year of high school or final year of the university. You will still put some university courses. But when the results are out, you will be graduating, you will put the correct education level on the visa form, on the immigrant visa form, DS-560260. So that is education level. Then, this is the crucial part. Marital status and number of children. If you put unmarried and 0 child, you will come here, click continue, it will tell you review the information and submit. But if you say you are unmarried, you have 1 child, it will open on the second page. That means it will come to part 2. Remember I said this form has 2 parts, but part 1 is the main applicant information. Part 2 is only if you have a derivative, you have a dependent. Either you have a child or you are married. So here, this is the very crucial part. Remember, the information they are asking here, they are asking information on the day you are filling this application form. They are not asking this information for the future. They are not asking this information for the month of November or December. If you are filling this form October 10, they are asking on October 10, are you married? Don't say, I'm planning to get married on October 15, so let me put I'm married. What if that person dies? What if that person changes the mind, is not going to get married? Remember, there is very big confusion. People think that if you say you are married, you have higher chances of winning. No. Yes, on one way we say that if you are married, you have higher chance in the sense that if both husband and wife both apply, it means you have 2 chances of winning. But just by saying you are married and you apply, they're not going to choose you because you are married. Each person has 1 equal chance. But if you are married and both husband and wife go to apply, which is allowed by law, which we encourage you to do, you will have 2 chances. If the husband doesn't win, the wife might win. Or both might win. Or both might not win. So make sure both husband and wife apply. Don't put your girlfriend. Don't put your fiancé. There is no that information here. Remember, if you put here, you are married, and you put information of a person who is not your wife, and you win, you are married to another person, you are going to put yourself in jeopardy. You will be denied the visa. So if you are unmarried, you plan to get married, remember, we talk about being married on the day of application. So there is unmarried, there is married. If for people who are married, 99% are married and my spouse is not a US citizen or green card holder. Because very few will be married and the spouse is US citizen or a green card holder, because they can use the other way. But these are special cases. Majority of you, if you are married, is that one. If you are divorced, you put divorced. Divorced means you have a court documentation of divorce. Then there is separation. If you are separated, it has to be a legal separation, not because you are husband and wife, you have a conflict and you go to your family, to your mother, to your father, you think that is a separation. No, that's not separation. A separation is a legal arrangement when a couple remain married but live apart following a court order. If you and your spouse are legally separated, your spouse will not be able to immigrate with you through the Diversity Visa Lottery if you are legally married. I mean, you are legally separated. You will not be penalized if you choose to enter the name of the spouse to whom you are legally separated. You are not going to be penalized, and that person doesn't come with you. If you are not legally separated by a court order, you must include your spouse, even if you plan to be divorced before you apply for the DV lottery. Failure to list your eligible spouse is a ground for disqualification. If your spouse is a U.S. citizen or green card lottery holder, do not list him in an entry. You don't need to list. The same way if your child is a U.S. citizen, you don't need to add that child. You'll be good because they don't need to be given the green card because they have it. So that is what I'm trying to explain. So don't try to manipulate the system. Put it the correct way. If your girlfriend is there, just apply. When you win, you'll get married. You're allowed to get married after the lottery results are out. But don't go feel. I've seen some people, they try to do this way. They go to one woman and say, okay, please fill me as your husband. And then they go to woman B, woman C, woman whatever. Don't try to do that. Just put there, if you are single, you are single. If your girlfriend is going to apply and is going to win, you want to get married, that's a different story. But don't go and put your girlfriend or your fiancé to think that, okay, I'm increasing my chances. No. Then there is the issue of children. This is a very, very important part. First of all, let's go to decide or to determine who is a child. A child is a person who is your biological. It has to be biological child or adopted child. Being adopted, it means the child is legal adopted. Don't say, oh, this person is the son or daughter of my my sister or my nephew, my aunt, whatever. But I've been raising this child since he was born. Remember, you are not adopted. You have not adopted that child. Paying for school fees is not adoption. Paying for food is not adoption. You must have a legal document of adoption. So apply if that is adopted. If it's not, apply without that child, and then if you win, you can go to get legal adoption. You can add it later. But also a stepchild. A stepchild, you must be legally married to a person who has a child, then you are allowed to add that child. So a child must be either biological, legally adopted, or stepchild. And the child must be under the age of 21 on the day of application. So on the day you apply, if someone is 20 years old and 360 days old, is allowed to be added. But if you add the person who is official 21, the application will not go through. It will say no, it is wrong. It will detect a mistake in application. So you must put a person who is under the age of 21 and unmarried. What if the child is under the age of 21, is 20 and is married? You are not allowed to add that child because he's married, even if he's under the age of 21. But what if the child is, your child is 20 or 19 or 20, 18, 19, 20, is not married but has a child? You are allowed to add your child, but you don't allow to add your grandchild. No, don't add your grandchild. There is no grandchildren here. You just add your child and you'll come with your child. Your child, after being here, your son or your daughter will go and sponsor their child too. So that is a different story. But what if I'm 20 years old on the day of application, but the results are out before the interview, I'm 21 years old? There is no problem with that. You'll be allowed to process as if you are just 20 years old. There'll be no problem. And failure to list all eligible children, you'll be disqualified. If you win and you say, oh, I have a child, this one, you're going to be denied the visa. But if your child is a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, do not list him or her in the entry. If the child is a U.S. citizen, you don't list them. So if you say you have 2 children, you click continue here, it will open on the second part. On the second part, it will say, on the second part, it will give you 2 lists of your children, which it will be the photo, the name, place of birth, country of birth, all those information. They don't need the email, the phone number. They don't need all those information because they are derivative. But again, if your spouse is going to apply, I'm the husband, I say I'm married, I'll put here. Let's say I'm married. It will open one space. If you say you are married, it's open one space. On children, it will come number of children of three people. Don't say it is 0 and you say, oh, I forgot. No, there is no forgot. If you say I'm married, by default it will open 1. If you have 3, 4, 5, 6 wives, that is up to you. It is illegal in the United States to have polygamy. So you'll come here with 1 wife who you are going to add here. So that's how it is. But if they're on their own, all the wives, they decide to apply and they put you, that is a different story. They're not going to stop you. But you as the main applicant, you apply once with 1 wife only. So those are the green card that way. And once you do the application, you submit the application. It will let you know if it has been successfully applied. It will appear like this way. It will give you the confirmation number. This is just an example. It will give you success. Your entry has been submitted on that day, whatever. Take this confirmation, send it to your email, send it to your own WhatsApp, send whatever it is. If you want to print out on your own. But you need to have this confirmation number because this will be the one you'll be using to check the results when the results are out. There are some people who go to apply through a cyber internet cafe to some of the companies. Myself, I usually help people to apply. This, make sure the person who is filling the form has to use your email address, and the person must print out or give you access to take a photo of the confirmation number. This is your information. This is what you need to have. This is the purpose of applying. To apply the DV lottery. At the moment I'm making this video, the lottery hasn't started. When it starts, you'll be able to go and see the application. The application, when you go to fill the application, it will be through the only one website. We know the website for the DV lottery application. The DV lottery application is dvprogram.state.gov. That is the DV lottery application website. You use that one to do the application. Not any other website. Don't go to the .com, whatever, .org, whatever. No. This is the official website. Then, the dates for the application. Even though these are my predictions for the applications, these are the dates for the applications. So it doesn't matter whether you apply on day 1 or the last day, whether you are the first person or the last person to apply. You must apply to be the last and to be the winner. So don't rush if you don't have enough photo of your family, thinking that by doing that, you are going to win because you are just rushing to apply on day 1 or day 2. There is no that if you apply on midnight or on Saturday or on Friday at this time, you are going to win. It doesn't matter. To be the winner, it doesn't matter which day of the week, as long as it is within the application window, you'll be good. So, I advise you also to review the DV 2025 instructions, the DV lottery instructions, and be able to do the correct application for the DV 2025. These mistakes, like listing the child who is not yours, that's why I want people to make sure that they are going to take these instructions seriously. Because without that one, people have seen so many people. There is one person didn't put the stepchild, and they put the stepchild after, but because they didn't. So there are so many mistakes I've seen. People are denied the visa. So make sure you follow everything correctly. But I usually tell people, the DV lottery is one thing. But what if you don't win the DV lottery? What are other options? You need to prepare yourself in case you don't win the DV lottery, in case you don't come to America. There are other opportunities in Europe, in Canada, or even in the US, which are not green card related. So make sure you apply for other opportunities beyond green card lottery. Make sure you do that. For that case, I want to let you know that I encourage you to go and download my app, EBM Scholars app. This app will help you in one way or another. Because in this app, I have a lot of information, a lot of opportunities I'm posting in this app. If you go to my website, ebmscholars.com, and you click EBM Scholars app on here on the app. This now it is on Android, it's not on iPhone. You click here, you will see over 5,000 people have downloaded this app. So please make sure that you also download the app. Make sure you download the app. But at the same time, while you are on the application, you are on my website, scroll down, come and access free course on community college to study in America. If you speak Swahili, there is a course about green card lottery. There is a course in English on green card lottery. There will be more courses will be coming up on the scholarships, jobs, and everything. There will be courses coming here in this September, October, and November. So be ready for these courses. Some will be free, some will be contributing $2, $3 to get the course. Because if you go on the course, for instance, like a green card lottery course, you'll be seeing it's a lot of things. It's a full course and with a certificate. So it's a full guide just for $5. You'll be able to go and get all this one. So if you go there, you'll be able to, but you have to register and you'll be able to do that one. But there are some people, they want me to apply for them for green card lottery. Go to my website and click green card DV lottery application. If you come to the DV lottery application here, you'll see the service I'm offering. The service is you send me the photo, I review the photo, then I'm going to edit the photo, I'm going to fill the form for you, and I will send you the confirmation number. And that I will do just for $10. So you send me the photo, before being edited, I'll edit the photo, and I will be able to do that. So you can communicate with us, with me, through the email, and the email is ebm@ebmscholars.com. If you click here to pay, on here, it will show you $10 service. You can pay with different ways, but your card, you will be able to do that. So go and check this one. It will be able to guide you on helping you in one way or another. But again, there are other services. You can come to my website again. If you come to my website and then you want to full scholarships, if you click full scholarships, you'll be able to get full scholarships. If you click full scholarship, you'll be able to get my service on full scholarship. Go and read how I can help you to get a full scholarship. If you want to get community colleges, click community college or email us. I'll be able to guide you over here. Okay, if you want, okay, I say, okay, I want to find a work visa. To come through a work visa. These are the information. Go and read there. Volunteering, internships, all those kind of things will be able to guide you. But don't forget to go on my courses. You will be able to see, go and download the app. So if you go there, you can be able to do that. But at the same time, if you want, you can go and say, I want to book appointment, one-on-one meeting with EBM. You can click here. You'll be able to do an appointment with me. 30 minutes is $30. 60 minutes, which 1 hour is $50. You can email or you can go direct and do a booking direct on the website. So there are two ways. You can just book direct from here, or you can go and pay here and email us, and then you can manually put for you. For those who are in Tanzania, there is a bank account for Tanzania and the Vodacom M-Pesa. And the next week, I'll post the M-Pesa for Kenya here. I'm in the final stages of getting my M-Pesa for Kenya. So apart from that, I'll be in Tanzania and Kenya for helping people to fill the form. It doesn't mean that you do not know how to fill the green card lottery form. No, it's for me to help you to avoid unnecessary mistakes. I'll be the one making sure that I'm filling the form for you. So make sure that you take this opportunity for me to be able to apply for you. It doesn't matter that if I'm the one filling the form for you, you are going to be the winner. I'm not promising that. What I'm promising is I will avoid any mistake if you win to be denied the visa, and to make sure that you fill the form correctly and to give you a confirmation number. So that is what I'll be able to do in the month of October. But I'm planning to travel to Ghana, possible Rwanda, possible Burundi, possible going to Congo. I'm not so sure. So you can check me, and I'll be sharing with you the schedule for the DV Lottery 2025, but also for my travel around and helping people to be able to fill the DV Lottery application form. This is the official DV Lottery application form. Make sure that you avoid any mistake which is needed. So for Kenya, the office will be open soon in Nairobi, but I'll be going to Mombasa, I'll be going to Kisii, I'll be going to Meru possible, I'll be going to Kisumu, Eldoret possible, I don't know yet. So Kenya will be there. Dar es Salaam, office is in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Office will be in Zanzibar, and I don't know about other regions, but I'll be visiting possible some of the universities in Ghana, Burundi, Congo, and other countries, which I'll be invited to be able to talk, not just green card lottery, but what are other services I offer, but other opportunities. And you don't need to use my services. You can go there and read about community colleges, and you can apply on your own. You don't need it to come through me. But I want for people to be able to know that there are so many opportunities, not only for the United States, but also other countries for people to go. We want to see people go in those countries in a legal way and be able to survive well and be able to succeed in those countries. I'm against the illegal immigration. I'm against and very upset to see people who come here with the correct ways and they don't go to succeed because they do a lot of mistakes. So make sure that you go and check on my website on the services. You'll be able to see so many things I offer under the EBM Scholars. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best in the DV Lottery application. If you are the winner, good. If you don't win, I'm so sorry. But remember, you must apply. If you have a child who is 17, apart from being included as a child, make sure that that child is going to apply on his own, on her own, also as a main applicant. After applying for the DV Lottery, make sure you continue with other ways. Don't stop everything of your life that you are waiting for the DV Lottery results. Make sure that after applying, you continue with your life. Look for scholarships. Look for going to pay for your own. Look for jobs. Look for visiting. Look for conference. Look for internships. Look for summer jobs, summer camps, summer whatever. Find legal way which meets your qualification to go and do application. But if you want my service, go to my website or email me ebm@EBM Scholars. I'll be able to help you in one or another. I don't use the WhatsApp at the moment, so don't send the WhatsApp. Even I've deleted it because I've been receiving a lot of calls, a lot of messages which I cannot handle. But on the email, don't go there and say, hi, EBM. Just go and write everything you need me to help you. Write the full message, not just hi, and you think that that is a chat WhatsApp. No, it's email, professional email in that particular way. Until next time, this is EBM. Bye-bye, everyone. And all the best. See you when I visit your country.